Guys, welcome back. I hope you guys are well. So today we are getting into our New Year reset for 2024. I'm super excited because New Year's is my favorite holiday. I just really love the fact that we get to reset and just really start the year off on the right foot. No, it does not have to be New Year's for you to do a reset. I just really love doing it for January because it's the start of a new year and it just feels really good and it's very motivating to have a place to start. But you can restart at any point in time. You don't have to wait until New Year's to do it. Just want to throw that out there. But today we are just going to talk about some things that we can do to have the best year yet. I have a really good feeling about 2024 for all of us. Y'all know we had to survive 2023 and the years before that. It's been a wild ride, okay? But we have survived it and we can only thank God for blessing us with a brand new year. So today, let's talk about resetting in every single way. I want our vibe to be top tier as we enter into this new year. So we'll talk about resetting physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, financially. Any way that we need to reset, I will touch on it today and let you guys know what I'm doing to reset, and hopefully it will help you or inspire you on your end for your reset. So let's go ahead and hop straight into it. Okay guys, so to start us off, I want to get something to write with or type with, whatever works for you. I'm old school, so I'll be writing down my goals in my notebook, and we'll go from there. So first we'll start with a reflection piece. So I want us to reflect on the year that we had in 2023. So last year I set a word of the year for myself. I do that every year. I will do the same this year, which we'll talk about, because I want you guys to set your word of the year too, and then drop it down below so that way we can all connect and talk about it in the comments as well. But my year last year was fluidity. And it was about me releasing control and stop trying to have my hands on every single thing, stop being so attached to outcomes and things like that, and just kind of just letting life do what it do, right? Letting God guide me and just letting it be, right? So that's what my goal was for 2023. Hence my word fluidity came from that. And I think that this year, as I reflect on it, I did a really good job at being fluid throughout the year. So I've had a lot of great moments. Like I've had the most amazing moments this year because of the fact that I've released control and just kind of let things naturally fall into place. With that, I met my fiance this year, moved to a beautiful new apartment. I got my job. Everything went well at my job. I took on new challenges at my job and just let it like mold me and make me better and not look at it as more work. I really just looked at it as, okay, this is going to strengthen my skill set. So me just being fluid and letting things kind of flow really like helped me develop as a person and really made me stretch as a person. So I feel like I have a lot more capacity to try new things, to be open to new things, and to just allow things to just kind of flow through. Very proud of myself for that because it does take a lot of courage to let go of the reins and just kind of be like, okay, whatever happens, happens. Of course, with intention. You don't want to just be out here just doing whatever. There are some things in life that we just can't control. The things that we can control, we can control that and let that be, you know what I'm saying? But we can't control every single little thing. And that's what my problem was in years prior. I would try to control every little thing and then worry and worry and worry and stress about it. And that's just no life to live. So happy that I made fluidity my word of the year because I really did that. Okay, so let's reflect. I wanted to ask ourselves a few questions about how the year went. So first of all, I wanted to ask, what went well this year? What are your wins of 2023? What are you proud of? What is lighting up your world when it comes to 2023? So for me, like I told you guys earlier, I grew a lot in my job. So y'all know I work in HR. I work in training and development. So I design and create and facilitate development classes for a healthcare system. And it's a lot, okay? So especially if it's something that you're new to, and I was definitely new to the HR world, so I definitely had a lot to learn. But this year was really monumental for me in that role because I was able to take on a lot of different projects and I had to be open to it. I had to have the courage to be open to a lot of things that I haven't done before. You know, this job requires me to have to facilitate classes, and sometimes those classes are 70 plus people in person in a big room. in front of people, and that's something that I was very uncomfortable with in the beginning. I had to learn how to create classes, so create online modules and deploy this to over like 18,000 team members, which is crazy to think about because it's a lot of attention to detail. So, but all of that really made me grow. And the fact that I was trusted with a lot of different projects that were very important to the company, it really makes me feel good about myself. It makes me feel like, okay, I have a purpose in this job, in this role, and I'm doing my thing in it. That always feels good, but I had to really be open to it because in the beginning, I was so scared. I was so in my comfort zone. I didn't believe in myself. But when I really like tapped into my word of the year, fluidity, I let myself flow through it. I was scared to do it, and I did it anyway. And I feel like when you face your fears and when you actually rise up to the occasion and you like conquer it, that's whenever you just build that momentum and that capacity to just keep on doing it. And that's what happened for me. It's like I get stronger and stronger, better and better every single time I knock down a fear. So in other words, just do it. Like I told you guys earlier, I met my fiance this year, which is crazy to think about because it all happened so fast in 1 year. But I really think it happened that fast because I was so open to it, and like I really knew what I wanted and he really knew what he wanted, and I was able to recognize, which takes time to do. Like once you come to a place where you're whole within yourself and you don't really need someone else and you're not like desperate for someone else, but you're just settling for whatever is coming at you, you come to a place where you're like, I know exactly what I want and I'm not dealing with anything less than that. And then your energy just literally emits that. Because ever since I've like adopted that energy, I have not dealt with foolishness ever since. And it's like I met him and like our energy is just like, now we're engaged. You go through things in life, you go through heartbreaks, you go through all types of different things. Then you reach a point where it works out for you. I went through a heartbreak, flowed through it, grew through it. And I came to a place where it was like, okay, I'm totally okay as Summer. Like Summer doesn't need anybody. Of course, Summer would love to have someone in her life, but Summer is okay, by herself and with God. And when I came to that point, that's when it worked out for me. I also paid my car off this year, which is amazing, not having a car note, y'all, and I will drive my car until I can't anymore. And that's one thing that this year has really taught me is what is really important. You don't need to constantly like upgrade every single thing. Just because my car note is done doesn't mean I need to go and get another car note. My car is perfectly fine. I love my car. My car was actually on my vision board at one point, and it's still like my dream car. I love my car. So I will not do anything unless I have to. Okay, there's no need to put on for other people, like getting a new car and doing all this stuff because like nobody cares anyway. Like do what works for you, and my car is working for me, so she's staying. Okay. Another thing that went well for me this year was strengthening my relationship with God, and that's something that I've always wanted. I've always wanted a strong relationship with God, and I feel like I've always pretty much had that, but I feel like this year, the last year, especially going through a lot, it really brought me closer. So I can be thankful for the things that I went through because it really pulled me closer to God. So that went really well this year. Okay, now that we talked about what went well, we have to take accountability for what didn't go so well, which is not the fun part, but let's talk about it. So for me, what didn't go so well this year was my health. So y'all know I told y'all in the past, I ended up having an ovarian cyst earlier in the year. It dissolved and it's gone now, which is thank God for that. However, after that, I started having a whole bunch of like gastro issues with my stomach. And now I'm feeling a lot better at this point. But in the beginning, I didn't know what was wrong. And I was being a Google doctor, which was my first mistake. Okay, I was looking up everything. Google was scaring me half to death. I had so much anxiety. I didn't know what to do, what was wrong with me. And I finally went to the doctor, which didn't really give me any answers either because no one knew what was wrong. But I did turn to God and I was like, God, please just, whatever this is, take it from me. Like, I don't want it. If it, your will, your way, but Lord, please take this, whatever this sickness is, like, I'm claiming that I'm healed, just take it from me, right? And I would do that a lot. Like that really helped me find peace in the situation because I really felt like God would put his hand on me. Doctors had no explanation for what was going on with me, y'all. Like, and it was so frustrating because I saw so many doctors. Like, I had to lean on faith in this situation, and I still don't know what's wrong with me. But I feel better. So I think that just goes to show who was the real doctor in this situation. You can't be mad at yourself for the mistakes that you make. I know my biggest mistake was trying to figure out what was wrong with me on my own, not relying on faith to just give me the strength to go through it. Because a lot of days I was so anxious and just sad and crying and, you know, just really not feeling hopeful about the situation. And I feel like if I just would have had a different mindset is everything, y'all. And that's one thing that I wish that I would have been more intentional about, because once I was intentional about my mindset, that's when I could see progress trending upward. So definitely just keep that in mind. If you're going through something, mindset goes a long way. Don't forget about writing this stuff down, y'all. So write down what went well and then write down what could have gone better this year. So another thing I could have been better at this year was my spending habits. Like this year, like I traveled a lot. I did a lot this year and I spent a lot of money, and my goal was to start paying things down. I would pay things down and then create more ruckus. Okay, so now I'm back where I was like last year, and it's depressing and sad to even think about because it's like, dang, a whole year went by and I'm right back to the spot that I was. But I will say it was worth it because the experiences were unmatched. However, I got to get these financial goals and get serious about them because there are things that I want to do. You know, I'm entering a new phase in life, a new era. You know, I'm getting married this next year. So like I got to save for a wedding and things like that. So I really need to get on the ball with that. So definitely we'll talk about that when we get to financial goals for sure. Okay, now that we reflected on what went well, what didn't go so well in 2023, we now have a clear vision of what this year looked like. So now we can go into 2024 with a whole new vision. Let's talk about that. I want us to have a vision of what we want 2024 to look like. So I want you guys to close your eyes for about 10 seconds and just imagine yourself at your highest self in 2024. What does that look like for you? Everybody's self is going to look different. Everybody's vision is going to be different. But just imagine yourself. Like, let's close our eyes for 10 seconds and just imagine, like, what do you look like? What do you feel like? What are you doing with your time? Are you enjoying yourself? Do you have great relationships around you? Do you have a spiritual enlightenment in any type of way? What does your 2024 best self look like? Let's just talk about, what did that feel like? Every time I close my eyes and I visualize myself in any capacity, it just gives me so much clarity and peace. And that's what I wanted to start us off with when we're talking about vision, because we need clarity to form a solid vision. Write down, what does your best 2024 self look like? What do they look like? What do they feel like? What are they doing? And who's around them? What does my 2024 self look like? I really want to, which I have been, but I really want to tap into my sophisticated era, which I've never been, you know, unsophisticated, but I really want to be my optimal sophisticated self. I have been really transforming into, you know, more modest. I think with age, you just come to that point where you really don't want to show your body so much. You just kind of, you know, it's just, I feel uncomfortable. I don't know. And I'm not judging nobody that does. Like, don't take this the wrong way. I am not judgmental in no type of way. So, you know, don't take that the wrong way. But for me, I think the older I get, I really just want to be covered up a little bit more. Just have a more like professional type of vibe. That's just where I'm at. That's how I want to look. I want to look sophisticated. I want to look well esteemed, educated. Like, I want people to, you know, see me and be like, I trust her. You know what I mean? Like, that's like Michelle Obama vibes. Like, that's what I'm trying to give. You know what I'm saying? Olivia Pope, you know, what do I feel like? I want to feel just present. You know, I feel like I've been on the go and just all over the place a little bit this year with how I feel. And I just want to feel like one way. And maybe that's just unrealistic as a human because we have a lot of different feelings. But I feel like I just felt so many different things this year. And I just want to be more grounded. That's the word I'm looking for. You know, I want to feel like no matter what is happening, that I am on a solid foundation and that I'm just grounded. Who's around me? Family. Family has proven time and time again that they are all you have. And I know this. I've always known this. I value my family so much. And that's who I want around me in 2024. My fiance, my family, my good friends. My friends are amazing. They have been with me for a long time, and I know who my real friends are, and I appreciate them because we are all very low maintenance friends. I don't do well with needy friends, and that might sound I don't know if that sounds a certain way, y'all, but me personally, like, I will always be here for you. If you're my friend, you can call me anytime. I will pick up. I will drive however I need to drive to make sure you're good. I will be there for you. But I am not the friend that's going to be with you 24/7 just because. Like, we're not going to be laying on the sofa together eating popcorn every day, going, you know what I'm saying? Like, just being together every single day. Like, I am not that friend. You know what I'm saying? But I have friends that understand that and they're just like me. You know, like, we both have our own lives sometimes. Like, me and my friends, we won't talk for a couple of weeks and then we're like, you know, we catch up and we're back like we never left. And I really value that because there are some people who take that the wrong way. And I would understand why. I mean, if you're friends, you want to talk to your friends and be with your friends. Like I said, I am not judgmental at all. I just personally don't do well with that in my life. Now that we have visualized our 2024 self, let's start creating some goals to get to that point. So first I want to start with physical goals. So I share with you guys that I lost a lot of weight and that, you know, my health was not where it needed to be in 2023. So this year, what I really want to do, and this is what I want us all to do, is make specific goals. So I know for me, I want to gain at least 10 pounds, you know, in like 6 months. I think that's reasonable. So you want to make goals that are going to be realistic because you don't want to, you know, set yourself up for failure from the jump. Doesn't mean that you can't make bigger goals for yourself, but you definitely want to start off with making realistic goals so that way you can start, you know, reaching different milestones and goalposts so that way you can create that momentum to get you to the bigger goal. So also want to start eating healthier so that way my gut health can be in a better place so that hopefully 2024 will be a better year for me when it comes to the gastro world. So mentally, whew, this is the one. Think about some mental goals for you. So like I told y'all, as I reflect on the year, I had a lot of anxiety surrounding my health this year. And I told y'all, like, if I would have just kind of shifted my mindset on it, I think I would have been able to cope a little bit better with everything that was going on. Because I really think I was making it worse just with mindset. That's why mental health is so important. Like, it's so important to keep your mind in the right space. So think about things that help you to do that. I know for me, what helps me keep my mind in a really good space is getting fresh air. Like, whether it's sitting outside, taking walks, just being outside is so grounding for me, and just breathing in, you know, actual fresh air and not this stale air conditioned air all day, it really helps me. So I just want to say, if you are kind of struggling with any type of, you know, mental things, definitely try to take a walk, go outside, get some fresh air, and just kind of just have a moment of solitude with yourself outside. I think that's going to really help you. It helps me so much. So, and like podcasts, y'all, like mentally, podcasts help me a lot. Especially like when I'm shopping, when I'm out and I just need something in my ears to kind of just, you know, feed me something, podcasts really help me. And like I told y'all in one of my other videos, if you're having gut issues, like I was having, the Fix Your Gut podcast is a good one. Love Your Gut podcast is a good one. The Self-Love Fix is amazing. If you are having some issues with self-love, she covers a whole bunch. Her name is Beatrice. She covers a whole bunch of self-love topics, relationships, dating, everything. So if you're struggling with any of that, definitely recommend the Self-Love Fix podcast. I can link all these down below for y'all if y'all are interested, but that one for sure helps me get to where I need to get. So check that out. So podcasts help me a lot with mental health things. Watching sermons, y'all, online. So I'll go to church on Sundays, but on Monday morning before I actually go to work, I watch a sermon from Darius Daniels. I wish I can go to his church. I think he's in Atlanta. But he really has helped me through a lot this year too. Watching him has helped me. R.C. Blakes has helped me a lot. Just really, really great men with really great messages. So highly recommend checking them out to, just to get you through any type of mental hurdles and things like that. Okay, so let's talk about emotions. So when I think about emotions, I think of things that tie into things that make you emotional, whether it's in a good way or a bad way. And that can be like relationships, that can be friendships, it can be family, it can be just how you feel about yourself. It can be just what brings you the feels. And I pretty much always do well with relationships. But I think that I can be better at enforcing boundaries because I am pretty much an open book when it comes to the people who are close to me. And I'm starting to learn that you can't tell everybody everything. And I'm very like reserved when it comes to people I don't know, but when it comes to like my closest people, it's like they know everything about me. And that's not always a great thing because you want to leave some stuff for yourself. Because whether or not people try to or not, people do judge you and people do project and people do things that you don't want them to do in the name of love because they love you. Sometimes you have to be like very selective on the advice you take. You have to be very selective of the counsel from those closest to you. And that's not to say that they're wrong. And it's not to say that, they don't have your best intention in mind. But I do find that in my situation, and this is just me speaking on my situation, some people who are closest to me do tend to kind of project a little bit when it comes to the things that I tell them, so out of just love, out of just trying to protect me, and I get it, so I think for me, I just kind of want to leave a little bit of mystery, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't have to be so open, and I can just leave something for myself. Okay, so let's talk about spiritual goals. So everybody has a different belief system. Spirituality is going to look different for everybody. And like I tell y'all all the time, for me, I serve Jesus Christ, the Lord. But whoever you serve, whatever you believe in is your preference. It's your life. Nobody can tell you what's right and what's wrong. Okay, so like I always say on my channel, everybody is welcomed here because this is a channel of love and light. This is not a channel of judgment whatsoever. So whatever you believe in is on you, baby. Like I said, I believe in Jesus. I believe in God. That is my belief system, is what I build my life on, what I try to live by. So my spiritual goals this year are definitely to continue to get closer to God. And like I tell you all the time, I am not perfect. I do fall short. I sin just like everybody else. So like, I can't judge nobody, okay? And neither can you, okay? So let's just get that out there right now. Financial goals. I am no expert on finances, y'all, and it shows, okay? I was a menace to society, to my wallet, and I am no one to take advice from. All I can do is share my goals with y'all. And then look, go on YouTube and type in financial advisors and stuff because I'm not that girl. Okay, I'm not. Okay, my goals for 2024 when it comes to finances are going to for sure be budgeting. And one thing that I always forget, like I always budget for bills. So my bills automatically come out of my account. So I have I have multiple accounts. I have one account that is for bills, strictly for bills, and everything is auto drafted. I don't even see it come out. I don't even see my money go to it. I have all my money that needs to be gone on bills automatically transferred to that account when it's time, right? So that's automatic. That's one thing I will say that has helped me a lot. And I will just give that piece of advice to y'all. I would have a whole separate account for bills and just have all that auto drafted so nothing is late. Nothing is, not going unpaid or you're forgetting about it. Set up a new account and just have everything auto drafted out of there. One thing I always forget to budget is my everyday living, and we don't really realize how much money we actually spend on everyday living, like when it comes to buying food, gas, just frivolous things that we stop in the store and pick up. Like those things really do add up, and you think you have more money than you do, but you really don't. And then that's when we have to start resorting to like using credit cards and running that up. And the next thing you know, we in credit card debt, yo, credit card bills high. And then it's a cycle. You know what I'm saying? So we have to get ahead of that. I want a budget. I want to pay down some debts. I want to and formulate a specific plan for that, y'all. Like really sit down with your finances, figure out how much you make, how much is coming in, like really be mindful and really like know what's happening in your accounts. Like don't be scared to check your account. Like that's one thing I've had to get over is like the fear of logging into my account and seeing what's really going on. Like don't be afraid to do that because you need to know. Like you need to know what you're working with so that way you're not overspending. You know what you need to do. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm gonna do more of, just being more mindful of like what's coming in and what's coming out. I hope this video helped you guys out. Before we go, let's talk about our word of the year. So my word of last year was fluidity, and I feel like I definitely fulfilled that to an extent. This year, with everything that I'm looking at on my page, I think what I need is just refinement. I think my word of the year will be refinement. I think I have things in a good place. They just need some fine tuning. You know what I mean? They just need some like tying up loose ends. You know what I mean? Like making things just more crisp, more organized, and just so I can have some clarity in my life. Because I was a little bit all over the place this year, a little bit, but in a good way, but definitely a little bit all over. So I think this year I just want to have a sense of like refinement, like that I'm just really fine tuning every little piece and part of my life to what I want it to be in at its best. You know what I mean? So that's my word of the year, refinement. I love that. Drop your word of the year down below in the comments so we can chit chat about it. And as always, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to my channel if you have not done so already. And until next time, I will see you guys later. Bye.